What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe, neverstate.com, and today's video is going to be about a topic that not many people discuss in the weight training world, and that is the mental training or even meditation and how it can relate and help you in your journey, quest for strongness. Now, I'm very well aware of the fact that the second that I said meditation, there are a lot of people that are ready to click off this video, but don't think about it as like new agey. I'm not trying to tie this towards any type of spirituality or religion or any of that woo-woo type of stuff, right? I'm talking about mental training. Now, I know we all like to think of ourselves as big, strong, powerful animals, but the bottom line, guys, is that in the food chain sense of the word, we were born without real claws and without real teeth, and if you go up against a grizzly bear or wolf, you're most likely going to lose. The only real thing you have going for you is your brain, and we spend more time watching cat videos and stupidity than we do actually training it. So with all this in mind, and me still dealing with this 3 years of disease, along with some stuff from my past, I really thought it was important for me to start trying to control more of my thoughts and my internal speak and just become a little bit more positive with myself, because if I'm honest, I know a lot of you think of me as a mindset guy, but much of that came from a negative or just a self-discipline or a just like, screw it, lean into the pain and push through it type of mindset rather than actually enjoying the process. And now that I'm in getting ready to turn 40, I really want to start enjoying the journey a little bit more as well the rest of my life. And the only way that I'm possibly going to be able to do that is by controlling a little bit more of where my brain decides to go and the things that I say to myself. So in order to do that, I decided to do a 50-day meditation challenge. Now, the reason why I chose 50 days is because I was going to be using the Sam Harris Waking Up app. Now, I'm not getting paid to say that or anything. That was just a meditation app that I heard about on the Joe Rogan podcast, and a lot of stuff that he recommends ends up being pretty decent, so I decided to check that out. But I know a lot of people use different apps like the Headspace app. Now, I've never opened that. I've never experienced it. I can't speak anything towards it, but a lot of times, if you are interested in getting involved in meditation, going through an app where someone can kind of guide you is going to be a lot easier than you just sitting down in a dark room trying to figure this out on your own. The reason why I chose to do a 50-day challenge instead of just saying, I'm just going to start doing meditation for the rest of my life, to be completely honest, whenever I say something like that, like I'm going to implement this thing indefinitely, I never ever stick to it. If I tell myself that I'm going to do something for 30 days or 50 days or 63 days, which a lot of scientific stuff says that's where a habit actually forms, but at least 50 days in, I'm going to be making decisions whether there's something that I enjoy and I want to stick in my life, or do I just want to discard it because I'm not really getting any real value from it. Now, before a little bit of spoiler alert here, I absolutely will be meditating hopefully for the rest of my life. I absolutely love it. It's been profound for me, and these first 50 days have just been absolutely amazing. I'm going to talk more and more about that as we go along. But real fast before we get involved in that, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about meditation. And guys, when I first thought about meditation, I was thinking about guys in like robes, like monks, doing their thing. And of course, when I was a young man, people believed that if you were strong enough or you were good enough in meditation, you could like levitate, you could shoot fireballs, things like that. So as a young man, it very, very much intrigued me. Now, as I'm older, and I still kind of believe the fireball thing, but what I found is that meditation absolutely was not what I thought it was. Many people, when they hear the word meditation, the very first thing that they think about is suppressing thoughts or trying to get your mind completely quiet. And I'm not saying that you can't get to a completely quiet mind through meditation. I never have, but supposedly you can. But guys, it's not about suppressing thoughts. You cannot suppress a thought. It's just like when someone, that old example of someone saying, do not think of a pink elephant. Immediately, your brain cannot think of anything except for a pink elephant, all right? So it's not about taking thoughts and trying to control them, because trust me, your mind is more powerful than you think. It's going to stick in there whatever it wants to. However, it's just like normal life, right? Think about your meditation process same way that you think about your normal day. When you start out the day, you might have an end goal of fill in the blank, right? Now, as you're moving towards that end goal, you're gonna constantly be getting peppered and jabbed and just hit and bombarded by different types of distractions and other things demanding your focus. And typically what happens as you're going through your day is you judge those things as like good or bad or worth it or not worth it. And then whether your attention is worth rabbit trailing over to that thing or not before you get back trying to get to your final end goal that you started the day with. Meditation is the exact same thing. You focus on just one thing, whether it be your breathing, a mantra, a single object, or whatever the case may be, and you're trying to keep your mind focused on that thing. Now, during that time, other things are going to be popping in, like what you need to do later today. Is the laundry done? What are you eating later? What do you need to do for your workout? And it's about literally staying focused on that one thing and just letting those other things pass. So when the laundry question comes in, you don't say good or bad or get anxiety over the fact that you haven't done the laundry. You just simply say, yeah, that's a thing. There's things aren't really good, things aren't really bad, they're just things, right? So you let it pass and you continue on towards your goal. Ideally, if you can do this in your mind enough, then when those things, physical things, pop into your life, then you'll be able to make more rational decisions and more calm decisions instead of being so reactionary throughout your day. It's the idea that there is no such thing as boredom. It's just simply that you don't have enough attention wherever you are. Instead, your mind wants to be elsewhere doing other things. And honestly, when you're kind of torn apart like that, you can't really have fun. If you are talking to your spouse or your significant other and you were thinking about being at the gym, trust me, you're not having a very good conversation, right? So it's about learning how to be mindful and present in the situation, which is only going to help in absolutely everywhere in your life, but especially in the gym. And we're going to talk a little bit about that now. Now, I'm pretty sure there are a couple of you out there that are being a little skeptical right now, very much as I was, because I was asking questions. So how is calming my thoughts and bringing my brain down going to help my arousal level when it comes to deadlifts and getting PRs and things like that? However, there are classic examples of how your brain can absolutely change your physiology. For instance, the most classic of which is if you close your eyes and you imagine yourself cutting into a lemon, big juicy lemon, right? Juicy, just stuff flowing all over. Then you take a huge bite, you chew it up, just chew it up in your mouth right now. See yourself chewing that lemon, feel that sour, everything. And I can just about guarantee that right now your mouth will start salivating. Something will happen. Your face will pucker. The inside of your mouth will start filling with spit. There's a lot of things that start going on just simply because your mind told your body to make it happen. So why can't that apply to your deadlifts as well as everything else? Remember the lemons. Now, scientific benefits of meditating for just your overall health and just your overall life are extensive. If you guys just do any type of Google search, you can find out a lot about that. But a couple that really particularly matter to me are the slowing of your cognitive aging. It increases your mental stability and focus. It lowers anxiety. It can help you sleep, and it has absolutely helped to change that negative voice inside my head that you can absolutely change if you want to. It seems to stave off depression as well as help people with traumatic brain injuries or PTSD. It can increase body awareness as well as motor control. It is even shown to increase volume of brain matter. It lowers your heart rate, your blood pressure. It even lowers your cortisol levels, which can lead to better recovery, better sleep. All things are gonna help with your training. And then finally, you're gonna have to do a little bit more research of this on your own. I just heard Dr. Rhonda Patrick talk about it, but the lengthening of telomeres, I think, which actually shows a lot of anti-aging benefits, not only cognitively, but even some physically. So it's proven that maybe meditation could actually be buying you back a little bit of time. I don't know, but I'd love to believe that is true, and people a lot smarter than me keep saying that it is. Now, as far as direct carryover to training, you guys need to think about the awareness and the focus that you're going to gain. Many people take pre-workout just for better focus and awareness. Now, if you could do that naturally, how much better would that be? Or if you didn't need to rely on caffeine, or you could just wait on caffeine to be there when you absolutely needed it on those tired days or comp days or testing days or whatever the case may be. I think it'll also help people control their level of arousal, whether it be anxiety. A lot of people at comps or even for PRs or regular training will have so much anxiety that it actually wears them out and they don't have as good a performance because they're just tired going in. So I think it can help with that. Also, flipping the switch. A lot of people don't know how to control their emotions like that, so they rely on something like music or slapping themselves or ammonia or whatever the case may be to get themselves into a heightened arousal type of state, thinking that it's going to make them do better. And I'm not saying it won't. You are essentially trying to trigger your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, so that you get big, dumb, and strong, right? And that works for a little bit of time. However, when you start triggering those things, your cognitive just function goes down in general, so you can't think as well. That's why you start getting spotty memory. If you've ever been in a competition, a lot of times you won't remember what happened. It'll just happen in pictures or spots. It's because literally your brain is out the window and just other factors are taking over. And it might make you very strong for a short amount of time. However, all of your motor function starts to go away. You become all thumbs, right? So yes, it might absolutely work if you have a lower level deadlift, and when you go to rip it off the ground, your back shoots up, it floats out, whatever happens, but you can overcome it just with sheer aggression and testosterone and pretty much young manedness. However, as you get stronger and those weights get bigger, you need to be a surgeon. Those things need to be exact. If an 800-pound deadlift floats 1 inch out in front, you're not lifting an 800-pound deadlift unless you're a 1,000-pound deadlifter, right? So it's about controlling those emotions, not getting so hyped up that you lose control, like with ammonia or music or whatever, trying to get so hyped that you start to lose some of those motor functions and thought and everything, because really you should be calm. This should be something you've done 8,000 times in your head. You should have visualized it. You should be an executioner, following your cues and doing your job, not just trying to amp yourself out of your mind and pray that maybe this is the time that's going to go up. I truly believe that meditation is one of those forms that will allow you to control that level of arousal. Also, when you're in a competition, you can't get so amped up just for your squat and then you still have 2 more lifts to do on a strongman competition. You still have 4 more events to do. So you're so fried right now because you just gave it all to that one thing. If you're able to control your mind and your emotions and those impeding thoughts and just bombardment of all the anxiety that's going on during a competition day, then you're gonna very much be able to bring up your arousal when you need to and then bring it back down so you can stay calm and preserve your energy and just be a nice person around people. There's so many things that meditation can help as far as that goes. Game day, flipping that switch, becoming an animal and then becoming back. That whole Jekyll Hyde going back and forth. You need to be able to switch it on and off, and if you can't, then the mental training is absolutely an area where you're lacking. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to lower your stress, it's going to decrease your cortisol, it's going to help you sleep, so you're going to be gaining muscle easier, recovering easier, losing body fat easier. All of those are going to be excellent things. Many studies have shown an increase in pain tolerance, which means that if you're trying to outcondition someone, outwork someone, outrep someone, or outstrength someone, an increased pain tolerance is going to help you out a ton in that situation. So now I guess I need to talk about how I'm currently doing this. Now, guys, I do not know anything about this yet. I'm still learning. I'm just sharing with you my experience, what I've learned, and how I think it could be beneficial. And I do find it so beneficial that I really want to tell you guys about it because I think you could benefit as well. That said, I'm not going to lie. Practicing is hard. However, when you think about the first time that you tried squatting or benching or deadlifting or anything, that was hard too. The first time you tried riding a bike, it was really hard. But with practice, it gets better and better. And I will say, very much when it comes to your thoughts and being inside your head and just doing this whole meditation, mindfulness thing, it's very similar to grip work, right? Like you think about holding on to a thought, just like you're thinking about holding on to like a really heavy weight, doing some type of grip training. It's hard and hard to hold on to, right? Like it's slipping out all the time. You're like picking it up, it's dropping. You pick it up, it's dropping. Same exact thing happens with your mind. You're trying to focus, but literally, oh, I lost it. Oh, I lost it. Oh, I totally forgot I'm meditating. What am I doing here, right? Like that is going to happen a ton, but it's not about how well you meditate. It's about the effort and the consistency, the same exact way that it is in the gym. You don't need the best training program. You don't need the best genetics. You don't need the best anything. You literally just need to keep showing up and giving your best, and you'll be shocked at how much better it'll get. And just like that grip training, at first you just keep dropping, and then you'll find you can hold a little bit longer, and then you still drop. And then a little bit longer, it's still gonna drop. But if you are interested in getting involved, I would recommend looking into some sort of app. Like I said, I'm using the Sam Harris app, but that is a pay app. If you guys go over to the Headspace app, I believe that's free. Again, I don't know, I haven't tried it, but having someone guide you in this, or even just go to YouTube and search guided meditation and look for something that has a lot of likes to dislike ratio. Go with that. Just get the experience of getting in and trying to focus on one thing. Now, like I said, this is just one sort of meditation. There are many, many out there, but this one is more like a mindfulness type of meditation. Means that I'm going to try to focus on one thing. Now, for most people, that becomes their breath. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like how many times you breathe. Some people count their breath. Some people focus on the rise and fall of their stomach or their chest. Shouldn't be your chest. Or some people even just focus on the feeling of the air passing over their lip or going into their nostril. And they just focus so intently on that. Now, how long you decide to meditate is completely up to you. But realize that at the beginning, studies have shown that literally every 5 to 10 seconds for most people, a new thought is arriving. So when you're talking about a 5-minute session or a 10-minute session, every 5 to 10 seconds being interrupted is a long time. It doesn't seem like 10 minutes is long, but when you're sitting there doing nothing at the beginning, that seems like a very, very long time. Now, there are a ton of people out there who literally meditate for days. There are entire retreats where you disappear for a long time and you do nothing but meditate. However, when you first start out, think about it like lifting. Like if I threw 500-pound squat on your back and you're at a 135-pound squat, it's not going to go really well, right? So you kind of need to take your time easing into this. However, I will say, much like lifting weights, if you do not do enough, then you're not going to see any benefit at all. Personally, I think 10 minutes is just about right for me personally. When I started, 10 minutes was just about right. If I did 5, I would have felt like I wasn't doing anything. And 10 definitely gave me time to kind of waver through like my thoughts calming down, I get in a good spot, my thoughts would break up, my thoughts would get in a good spot. Like, I think 10 minutes is a good amount of time. Now, since then, I've been able to increase it just about every single day. Over my 50-day span, I meditated, I think, I'm actually gonna pop up a little graphic here because my phone is actually what I need, and that's part of the recording. But over that 50 days, I think I meditated over something like 16 hours in that span of time. Most days was 20 minutes. I'll say most days 20 minutes. Some days was a little bit more. Some days was a little bit less, really what I could handle. Now my day streak obviously don't reflect 50 days, but that's because what Sam Harris considers a day and what I consider a day are two very different things. And when you only sleep like 3-4 hours a day, some mornings and nights just don't work in a 24-hour period. But I promise you, I meditated 50 days in a row. Now over the 50 days, I will say that the benefits have been pretty profound. I've been able to control my anger a little bit better. It's just given me better internal speak, but I think that has translated over to being less reactionary. A lot of times someone, whether it be on email or in life or whatever, will come at me and ask me a question, and it's just, I've been asked so many questions through email or through whatever contact that a lot of times I give short, kind of like not very nice answers. They're not mean answers, they're honest and they're true. It's just, I didn't make it as elegant as I could have. I was just very like snappy with them. And I found that just having enough time to stick myself in their shoes, to get that empathy of just 1 second of being like, oh yeah, you're asking because you don't know. And I was in a place where I didn't know. And I should answer you with the same respect that I would hope someone would answer me. Just doing little things like that has really been profound in how I've been interacting with people, especially right now around the holidays when I have so much interaction, which typically is a hard time for me because I am not a people person. I am such an introvert. And so being around groups and being around people and being at parties, very, very hard and anxiety driving for me. So this has really, really helped calm that down and help me enjoy that. As far as training goes, it has done a lot to help focus me. I will be honest, I have trouble flipping the switch right now because I've always relied on aggression and dark things from my past. However, those dark things, every time that I bring them back up, they hang around for a little bit and it ends up infecting and bleeding over into other areas of my life that I don't want that negativity in. So I don't really want to draw upon that anymore. And while I'm going through that process, I just need to find what it is that's going to motivate me the same way that when I thought about something old, ugly, and bad, that could bring it up immediately. And so I'll be honest with you guys, like I said, as I'm going through this process, it's only been 50 days. It's barely been a month, right? So I'm learning, but yeah, bringing the heat or like bringing that aggression, right now I'm having trouble finding it. So yeah, that's a good thing for normal life and driving and relationships, but less good for lifting right now. However, once I learn how to channel and focus that energy, I'm sure it's going to be even greater. And then guys, I guess the final thing that I want to say about this is that meditation just doesn't need to be sitting down with your eyes closed or whatever. You can have your eyes open. You can be walking down a busy street and be meditating. I'm not capable of doing that yet, but you can do other things. All that meditation really is about being mindful, right? So if you just take a simple thing like doing the dishes, most of the time when most of us do the dishes, you're thinking of other places you would like to be. You probably don't want to be there doing the dishes, right? And that makes it very uncomfortable and unpleasant, and you want to be anywhere but doing the dishes. However, like I said earlier, boredom, the cure to boredom is putting more attention into it. So if you actually took that 10 minutes or whatever it's going to take you to do the dishes and actually try to do as good of a job as possible, be completely present there, clean them like you were going to feed them to your great grandma on her birthday. Do as good of a job as possible, and I can just about guarantee that you will enjoy that process more. Your dishes will get more clean, and it's just, that is a meditative process. That's why you guys see me doing calligraphy, or you guys see me carving wood. It's because I have a very hard time focusing on anything else other than what I'm doing right at that moment, and it just helps calm my brain down, helps heal my body, heals my soul, heals my heart, and just makes me a better person, not only for training, but also for life in general. So if you absolutely refuse to sit down and try this for 10 minutes, do it while you're doing the dishes, or do it while you're going for a walk, or do it while you're driving, or do it while you're doing a just tedious task that normally you wouldn't like folding clothes. Instead of just trying to get through it, try to fold them as perfectly as possible. You'll be shocked at what that does for your enjoyment of it, as well as just your mind. Your mind will just feel better about the entire situation. So guys, there you go. Thank you very much for being patient with me. I know this isn't as interesting as learning how to bench better or squat better, but trust me, if we can apply these things, the brain is the one massive tool that we have that virtually nothing else on earth has, and it's only stupid if we do not use it. So maybe improving your training is the reason why you're getting involved, but maybe it'll bleed over into other areas of your life. Guys, all I can say is that my brain feels a lot better and my emotions are just more controlled. My self-talk is better. It's all been really, really good things. And maybe you guys don't struggle with any of that, but I personally do. So this has been absolutely massive for me. Do a 50-day challenge, do a 30-day challenge, do whatever it is that you feel moved to do. But trust me, if you can control your brain a little bit better, then you control your body a little bit better. You control your body a little bit better, you will start to hit PRs, feel better in the gym, have more fun, take control of your life. It's going to be awesome. I thank you guys so much again for being patient. I know this isn't the normal thing. So I will catch you later in the week. Until I do, go out to something amazing in your lives. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then.